Ramachandra from the NR Sports Show. This is episode 997. We are live on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Spreaker, on all the podcast platforms. So fans, please tune in. You can ask questions on the Spreaker app that we have usually. And we are live with Ryan Lavarnway. He's an MLB catcher. He just signed a deal with the Detroit Tigers this all season. And he also played for the Red Sox, Orioles, Braves, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Miami, and Cleveland. Man, that's a whole lot of lists, right? A lot of teams right there. But what a great career, man. And he puts his heart on the field, and he a great catcher. And he went to Yale University for college. And like I said, fans, please tune in. This is going to be a good one. Ask questions to Ryan today. And Ryan, thank you again for joining the show. It's truly an honor. I know you guys are busy with spring training, so thank you for taking your time out of your day to do this. So first of all, how are you and your family doing today?
I'm doing well. Just down here in spring training, and happy to be talking to you today.
Yeah. So before we get to your career, though, I want to say congrats on signing a deal with the Detroit Tigers. And how does that feel now, just to be back playing baseball and now being in spring training with the guys and the teammates, your new teammates now, I should say. So what's that been like for you so far in this?
It's good to be back with the lockout situation and all the uncertainty that surrounded that. It's good to be back on a field and doing what I love.
Yeah. So for you, when did you get interested in playing baseball? And then also, who did you look up to in the game of baseball while growing up?
I started playing baseball when I was about 5 years old. My dad always played pickup games, so I always got to watch him and his friends play. And once I started playing, I loved it right away, and I had a knack for it. So the rest kind of just fell into place.
Yeah. So for you, obviously you're a catcher. But tell our fans throughout your career in high school and college. I mean, obviously not college, high school. Did you get to play any other positions before settling on catcher?
I actually did. In high school, I was going through a big growth spurt when the tryouts were happening, and it hurt to squat down. I couldn't bend my knees that far of high school. And then when I made the varsity team, we actually had another catcher that was in my grade that was better than me. So if I was ever going to play on the team on varsity, I had to go play outfield. So I played left field in high school. I got recruited to play right field in college my freshman year, and then I moved back to catcher after that.
Wow. Yeah. So for you, what's it like? Obviously, in this generation, a lot of coaches and teams love versatile players that can play multiple positions. For you, how important is it to play multiple positions and to be versatile?
I think it's important to be a baseball player and not just be specifically one position. Then you're more valuable to the team. If someone else can only play one position and you want to both be in the lineup, but you can move somewhere else, then you're a more valuable piece for your coach.
Yeah, so we already have a fan question for you. We are live with Detroit Tigers catcher Ryan Lavarnway. One of our fans want to know, take us through the process of being a catcher, because we came in squat for 9 innings. How do you guys do this as catchers? They want to know what's the process.
Yeah, there's a lot of stretching and strength that goes into preparation before a day and leading up to a season. It's definitely not something you just jump right into without building up to it. Right now, in the first week or so of spring training, innings at a time, and then build up, then 6 innings the next time, 7 innings the next time, and you build all the way up to a full game.
Yeah, so in high school, especially senior year, is really important for athletes, where that's when all the scholarships come in and the colleges look at you, the scouts. So for you, what was your what was your main thing, most important thing to do good in your senior year of high school so that scholarships can come in?
I actually didn't end up getting a scholarship because I went to Yale. They don't do merit-based scholarship, only financial aid need-based. So I just wanted to keep playing, really. So I always focused on doing my best in the classroom and on the field, and that's what led to the opportunity to play at Yale, which is a non-traditional baseball path. I think there's only been 3 or 4 players that ever made it to the major leagues out of there, and I'm happy to be one of them.
Yeah. So did you while you were working on your craft as a young player, did you get any advice from former players or players that you looked up to in the league? And what were the main messages from your coaches during high school?
The main things that, looking back now, 20 years after I left high school, the things I remember that I had conversations with coaches was, don't I thought I was a certain type of player. I thought I had a certain potential, but my potential was so much higher than I even thought or I even realized. So there was one conversation in particular where I didn't think I should hit fourth in the middle of our lineup in high school because I didn't think I was our best player. And our coach asked the team, who's going to hit fourth? And, when you're 17 years old, you're a smart ass. So I was like, why not me? But I didn't think it was going to be me.
Yeah.
My coach said, why not you? And just the way that he said it, it kind of went into my brain, and I was like, well, why not me? And I kind of lived and embodied that, and I ended up.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me? I think it froze a little bit.
Yeah, hotel internet, brother.
Yeah. So for you, obviously in Yale University, you had a great career, college career. You were batting for over 400, and you set some really good records in Yale. So for you, what led to your success at Yale University, and what would you say your best experience was there?
Again, it was I had conversations I had with coaches where someone on our team won the All Ivy League first baseman award, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I want to win All Ivy next year. And he said, and my coach said, why win All Ivy? You should win All American. And I was like, I definitely didn't know that was a thing. But then I just tried to embody, like, what do I think an All American? How would an All American go about batting practice or take practice work in the field and in the cage? And everything I did was with that intention. And then by the next year, I was All American.
Yeah, so obviously, take us to the moment when you had a 25-game hitting streak in the Ivy League. I think that's an Ivy League record you set. And what was that? Tell our fans what was that moment like for you?
Well, that wasn't really much of a moment, right? 25 games, it's over
Yeah.
the course of a month or two. So it was just, I was locked in, I was focused, and there's definitely luck involved in that. Getting a good hop and finding a hole, getting good pitches to hit. It was just there was luck involved, and there was a lot of preparation and a lot of hard work that went into that.
Yeah, so we have another fan question for you. They want to know, what's your pregame routine before a game?
Pre-game routine, if I'm catching, I tend to do some Pilates hip warm-ups, make sure that my hips are good and loose and strong. And then there's batting practice in the cage, arm program, long toss with the pitcher, talk about a scouting report of what we want our plan to be going in, and just really how we want to attack the other team. If I'm just hitting, there's less physical work going in, but I'll go over the scouting report on the other pitcher, I think they're going to attack me, what's the repertoire, and just make sure I'm loose and ready to go physically.
And just to piggy off from our fans' question, how important is it for you just to build a relationship with the pitcher, especially before a game or throughout the season? Because a lot of you guys can go through a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. For you, how important is it just to get the chemistry down way before?
It's really important. I think objectively, pitchers are the most important position on the field. If we can't keep the other team from scoring runs, then there's no chance we're going to win the game. So my job is to help the pitcher be his best, right? I'm kind of the support staff, and I can be his catcher, his sports psychologist, some form of an extension of the coaching staff, the game planner, quarterback, all these different roles that I play, but all with the intention of helping the pitcher be his best.
Yeah, so now going to your draft experience, obviously you got drafted by a historic franchise in Boston in 2008. Just to let you know, I'm a Yankee fan. So, but you got drafted by the Red Sox in 2008. What was that like? Take us to that moment.
I got hurt right before the draft. I broke my wrist in a game against Harvard, and I was looking to get drafted higher because I had been doing so well. And then once I hurt myself, I fell in the draft. So at that point, by the 6th round, I was the last pick of the first day of the draft because they did 6 rounds of the draft on day 1 that year. The rest of the draft was going to be day 2. So I really was relieved that I got drafted and I didn't have to wait till the next day. And then when I called to fill out my paperwork, fill out your tax identification stuff, when they answered the phone, reigning World Series champion Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty cool moment where that kind of hit like, oh my God,
Wow.
this is happening.
Yeah. So so after that, what was the first thing you did with your family after you got drafted?
My mom took me out to BJ's Brew House and ordered me my first beer.
Wow.
Even though I wasn't 21 yet, I was, I think I was 20, and she told the waiter, she was like, he's 20 and I'm his mom and he's getting a beer because he just got drafted.
That's funny. Yeah, so we have another fan question. I know you're big into food, so one of our fans want to know, what's your favorite food to eat? And also they want to know, do you usually eat before games, or what's like? They want to know what's your go-to snack or food.
Oh man, well my favorite Japanese food and French, but not before a game. It's a little bit different before a game. Generally, I try to have something that will not upset my stomach. Sometimes I'll go with peanut butter and jellies, classic before the game, or some rice and some chicken with some vegetables. Really, just whatever will help fuel me and keep me even.
Yeah, so when you got into the Red Sox organization, obviously you spent time in the minors first before getting the call up. And in the minors, what did you learn in the minor leagues? And obviously it's a tough road ahead for some players, but you did really good in the minors. You had a season where you had 59 extra base hits, or what was the key to success for you in the minors before you got the call up?
I learned a ton. Part of being in the minor leagues is learning how to, I had gone to college, but college is such a structured atmosphere where in the minor leagues you're still learning how to be an adult, right? You have your own bills, you make your money, and you're not making very much money, so you have to learn how to live on a budget. You're living with roommates in a new city. You're traveling all over town. You have your own choices to make as far as getting food on the road. On top of everything you're learning on the baseball field of how to be a professional, how to play 100 in the minors, it's 144 games without your body getting beat up, how to keep yourself healthy. There's so much to learn, and I think the Red Sox do a really great job of helping and growing to good players.
Yeah, so you got the call up in 2011 by the Red Sox, and once you walk into the clubhouse, you see players like Big Papi, John Lester, Kevin Youkilis, Jacoby Ellsbury. You played with some great players in Boston. So first, where were you at? Where were you that day when you got the call up, and how relieved were you when they called you?
I was in Pawtucket, and the team was in Boston. They were flying to Kansas City the next day, and David Ortiz came out of the game because he was hurt. And I remember I was thinking to myself, well, mate, that would be cool if I got called up for David Ortiz. And then I got like, hey, the manager wants to see you. Go to his office. And they told me David Ortiz is a little banged up. Kevin Youkilis is a little banged up. We're going to fly you to Kansas City to meet the team. Both of those two guys are going to see the doctor. And if they're both okay, then you're going to turn around and come right back here tomorrow. But if one of them is hurt, then you're going to be in the starting lineup.
Wow.
So it's not for sure. Don't tell anyone, basically. And of course, I told everyone I know. Flew to Kansas City, and when I landed, they said Kevin Youkilis is going to go on the disabled list.
Wow.
You're in the game.
Yeah, so you were ranked number 9 as Red Sox prospects, and when you got the call up in your first game, you had 2 home runs. Man, so what was that like for you, hitting 2 home runs just to get the butterflies off quickly?
I mean, it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome for sure. Yeah, I can't really describe it beyond that.
Yeah. So speaking of Red Sox had a great pitching staff that year. You obviously caught John Lester, Tim Makefield, the knuckleball pitcher. Just take us. What was it like catching Tim Makefield, knuckleball?
Wake, I didn't have the chance to catch in a game. I caught him in the bullpen, made sure he was ready to go. But I ended up catching knuckleballs from Stephen Wright after Wakefield retired, and Stephen Wright came up and he throws it a little harder than Wake did.
Yeah, we had Stephen Wright on the show also. It was an honor talking to him. And for you, throughout your career in Boston, obviously you spent 3 years, and tell us, what was John Lester like as a teammate, and as a teammate on the field, off the field, and obviously he retired now, and what a great pitcher.
Yeah, consistent, very consistent, calm confidence. Every 5 days, he's going to go out there and give us a chance to win.
Yeah. So for you, tell our fans what was like some of your best moments as a Boston Red Sox player, and also playing in Fenway Park.
Well, I only ended up hitting one Fenway homer,
Hmm.
and they had to review it because it hit the back of the monster seats and came back onto the field. They called it a double on the field, so I stood on second base. They did a video replay, and I got to trot on into home, so that was pretty cool. And then being part of the World Series team in
Yeah.
2013, it's obviously a highlight of my career.
Yeah. So for you, we have another fan question for you. What was your hype? What's your hype music?
Hype music? Oh man. Honestly, before games, I like to listen to stand-up comedy.
Oh wow. Who's your favorite comedian?
I don't know that I have a favorite right now. Um, what's his name? The guy that does the Netflix specials with no shirt on.
Oh, oh shoot.
I love him. I'm
I
blanking on his name right now.
yeah. I don't know.
Bert Kreischer. Bert
Oh,
Kreischer. He's my favorite.
yeah. So what did you learn from the 2013 year when the World Series team, and obviously you guys were loaded that year, and what did you learn from that team?
I learned that if you want to do great things, talk about them right away and kind of everyone be on the same page. From the first day we showed up to spring training, Johnny Gomes started talking about how he was one day closer to the
Okay.
World Series parade, and he set the expectation, and nobody could do anything without that in the back of their mind that we're trying to win the World Series.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, what was it like battling against the Yankees in the AL East? Obviously, Orioles too, Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, always a tough competitor. But what was it like being in the AL East battling?
That's all I knew. It was my first big league team. I didn't really realize that not all teams have that kind of media presence in the clubhouse. Not all teams play against those franchises, those pitching staffs. That's thrown in the deep end, thrown in the fire. You learn how to survive.
Yeah, so for you, when it comes to David Ortiz, obviously, I'm a Hall of Fame player, in my opinion. So for you, what did you learn with him when you were teammates with him, and how much did you lean on him for like advice, or did you talk to him most?
David really handled his own business. The thing I learned from him is just do the work every single day, and he was a really smart hitter on top of being just physically talented.
Well, so we have another fan question that just came in. They want to know, outside of all the ballparks you played in, what would you say your favorite ballpark was?
I mean, Fenway and Wrigley. I get this question a lot. Fenway and Wrigley are like in the class of their own, right? They're so special and different. Outside of those two, like obvious exceptions, I really like Camden Yards.
Hmm. Well, yes, I never been there yet. I got to go there and check that out. So for you, obviously, all sports is a business for players. A lot of players move around to different teams, and you experience a lot of teams in your career. So for you, what did you learn as a player going to different clubhouses, different cultures, learning different teammates, different coaches? What was the main thing that you learned, and how tough is it for you and your family in the beginning?
I think just be a good person and treat everyone right. Whether it's the CEO, the janitor, the general manager, or the clubhouse, like everyone is important. Everyone matters. If you treat people the right way, you go about your business the right way. You work hard. You play the game because you love it. You support your teammates. Nothing can go wrong from there. And this goals sometimes it always comes back to bite you in the end. So just to be a good person, uh, treat people right, and I think that's how should go about their business.
Yeah, so you spend time with the Atlanta Braves, who won the World Series this year. So and you play with Freddie Freeman, obviously a great player now, a different team. But for you, what was it like seeing the Braves winning that World Series this year, and when you were there, spending time with that team?
Yeah, they hadn't won in a long time, and
Mhm.
I was really happy for those guys, and the coaching staff. A lot of them I know from my time there too. I was pumped for them.
Yeah, so for you, what would you say? Obviously, seeing all these teams that you've been with, and seeing all these prospects that are coming up, and obviously being around these prospects, do they? How many of them came up to you throughout your career to ask for advice, or how much did you help these prospects out while you were with these teams?
I'm happy to talk to guys whenever they have questions. A lot of these guys, they kind of they know what they're doing. They don't need help from me. They have their coaches that they like, and the cell phones and the YouTubes and all the stuff. If they have questions, I'm happy to work with them, but they know what they're doing.
One of our fans want to know, throughout your career, how many arguments have you gotten in with the umpire?
I have not been thrown out of a game since I was 12 years old.
Wow. Whew. That's crazy.
I argue plenty, but I know how to do it.
That's crazy. Yeah. So for you, you spent time last year with the Cleveland Indians, and tell us about that team, because they're underrated team in my opinion in the American League. They always compete, somehow find a way to compete, even though a lot of roster changes happening there. They still find a way to compete. And Terry Francona is a manager there, but what was it like being with that team?
Yeah, a lot. And Francona expects to win and tries to win every single day. There's never a quit. Even if we give up five runs in the first inning, he'll call down to the bullpen. He'll be like, "Hey guys, get ready. We're using everyone because we're going to come back and win this game." And that's what the kind of that he sets. And I thought the Cleveland organization was first class. I really enjoyed my time there last year, and I would have gone back for sure.
Yeah. So tell our fans, what did you what was tell us some of your best moments, like best moments from each team after the Red Sox.
Oh man, we don't have enough time for that.
Yeah. Or take some of the teams like the Braves or the Marlins, Reds.
We can go with the Marlins. We made the playoffs for the first time in 17 years when I was there. That was pretty cool. And the Reds, I made my debut with the Reds. I had the best game for a catcher since like 1974 or something crazy. So those are some highlights. I've had some great memories along the way, and hopefully I have some good baseball left in me to create some more memories.
Yeah, so we have another fan question. They want to know, when you get, for example, when you hit a home run, when you go to third base, they want to know if you have like a secret handshake with your third base coach.
No, I'm old school. I'm old school. I'm more of a want to do the quick handshake than the pound or all the other stuff.
So what's it like for you with your teammates, especially in the clubhouse? And obviously, baseball is a long season, 162 games. It's all about chemistry. So what do you guys do as a team just to be collective and stay locked in for 162 games? What's the main thing that you guys do with as a team?
I think you got to kind of lean in. Argument that happens, you got to lean into it. You can't stray away from it, because then it lingers. There's an argument, just have it, get it over with. Also, I feel like teams that play games together outside of baseball, like card games in the locker room, or sometimes I've played chess in the clubhouse. There's ping pong tables in some clubhouses, but if you're playing together, you're doing other things together, you're going to have more chemistry on the field.
Yeah, so there's a lot in all sports. There's sometimes characters. So in baseball, there's some characters. I want to talk to you about Will Middlebrooks. He's a character, and obviously you spend time too with him as a teammate. So for you, what's he like as a teammate? And obviously he's funny on Twitter or social. He's sometimes funny on social media.
I don't think of Will as a character. I think of him as like a very straightforward, knowledgeable guy. He does great on the CBS HQ that he's on, and he just got a job with Ness. I know I was texting with him yesterday. He was actually my first roommate in pro ball that I got assigned to be roommates with him. And I'm pretty proud of all the things that he's got going on right now. He's made a nice second career for himself.
Yeah, speaking of Ness, and that's a great crew right there. You got Kevin Euclid on that team, that crew also. So what was it like? What's it like seeing your former teammates getting jobs at Nessa now?
Well, that's less weird than some of my former teammates that are already farm directors or GMs. Oh. Those make me think that I've been playing for too long, but I still enjoy playing.
Yeah, so for you, obviously tough off season for all of you guys, obviously with the lockout. But for you, what did you do to train and stay focused when the lockout was happening, and obviously spending time with your family? That's the main thing too. So what did you do training wise, just to keep ready?
Do you hit? You go to the gym, you catch balls. Spring training started to get delayed. I would try to simulate innings in the cage with my wife would come and feed balls into the machine, and I would hit for 15 swings. Then I put my catcher's gear on and catch for 20 pitches, and then swing again for 15 swings and then catch again. So try to simulate the back and forth. I think that's the really.
All right, we have another fan question. One of our fans is a Red Sox fan, so they want to know, have you tried Kevin Youkilis's beer yet?
I haven't, but I do enjoy beer, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, yeah. So for you, coming into this off season, obviously when the lockout was lifted, um, how long did it take you to decide on the team? And for you, how many offers were there outside of the Detroit Tigers, and what made you choose the Tigers?
I think the lockout ended on Friday, and I had a call from the Tigers on Saturday, so it was pretty quick turnaround. And a lot of times that first call you get means that's the team that's the most interested in you, so I took it.
Yeah, so for you, how grateful are you to be in this position to play a long time in this league, especially catcher? And for you, are you the Tom Brady of the baseball?
I am not the Tom Brady of baseball, no. But I am. No, I'm very grateful. I've had a lot of opportunities. In 2019, when I had that debut with the Reds, I was so grateful. I said something like, "I feel like a cat with 9 lives." And then the next year, I got to play for the Marlins.
Well,
And then the next year, I got to play for the Indians, and now I get to play for the Tigers. So maybe I'm the cat with 12 lives. I don't know.
yeah, so obviously, what are you most looking forward to now in this spring and being with the Tigers? A lot of talented players you're with right now. Miguel Cabrera, man, one of the best hitters in my opinion, still going at it. You got Javier Baez, new, young players, and what are you most looking forward to this season?
Just playing baseball and enjoying it and taking advantage of every opportunity. And I think if everyone's healthy, I'm probably slated to start the season in AAA and play my best and see what happens.
Yeah, so how, so when you get, for example, spring training, and what's for you? Obviously, my start in the AAA, but what is your goal? Just to maybe try and make the team now before going to AAA.
I mean, with the shortened spring, I don't know what sort of actual playing time opportunities I'll get in spring training. My thing is just I want to be healthy. I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I want to take advantage of every opportunity. So I always want to play my best.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, go about it the right way, treat people the right way, and enjoy it. And baseball's supposed to be fun, and I think people forget that, and I try not to.
Hmm. So what do you like about now today's game and the rules changes? Obviously, you got the universal DH, and I think it's a good thing for both for this game. And but what do you like about the youth of the game now? It's a lot of young stars now, and what do you like about it? And even with the new team.
I mean, the players that are coming up that are so young, they're just so good. The talent level is higher than it's ever been before. It's going to continue to get better, and I think people don't realize how darn good these players are. I haven't seen a pitcher throw a pitch under 95 yet. I mean, it's wild. So just enjoy the show, I guess.
Yeah. So one of our fans want to know who was the toughest pitcher they had to face against throughout your career?
Oh man, Justin Masterson had my number. I couldn't get a hit off that guy.
So actually, and also another fan question. They want to know: do you remember your first home run? Who was the? Do you remember the name of the pitcher that you hit your first home run off?
My first major league home run was off Drake Britton.
Oh wow. Hmm. So
when he was a starter before he learned how to throw that nasty sinker he throws now.
Yeah. So what do you like about the Detroit Tigers pitching staff, and obviously being close now in spring? They have a lot of young pitchers, obviously. Oh, and they got Eduardo Rodriguez now too. So, what do you like about the Detroit's pitching staff?
I'm still getting to know him. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think there's a lot of young guys with a lot of talent, a lot of potential. So I'm excited to get to know them first, and try to help them be their best after that.
Do you have a nick? What's your nickname?
Nickname is Varney.
Yeah.
Take the middle 4 letters of my last name out of the end of it.
Wow. Yeah. So for you, what's it like now? What's it like sharing your stories on these platforms or podcasts and shows like these? And what's it like sharing your stories on shows?
I'm enjoying it. Having a nice conversation like this with you, and hopefully I can, I don't know, inspire someone or make someone smile or give someone something. If there's anything that positive that can come out of it, then it's worth it.
Yeah. So when it comes to athletes, obviously the biggest support system is obviously coaches and teammates and the team, the coaches that believe you from day one. But in my opinion, your family is the main thing, and the wife of the player. So for you, going back to your wife, and how grateful are you to have your wife behind your back throughout your career and being the quarterback for your family?
She's been great. She's made it possible. This week, for instance, I signed with the Tigers on Sunday, and on Monday morning I was on a plane. So she's packing the house up, getting it ready to leave. She arranged for my living arrangements while I was on the plane on the way here. She goes above and beyond to make this life possible, and she's so supportive, and I think she wants me to keep playing even more than I want to keep playing. So it's been pretty awesome to have her support along the way.
Yeah. So one of our fans want to know, if you didn't end up playing baseball, what would you be doing now?
That's a great question. I don't know. I've wanted to do this since I was 5 years old.
Wow. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this offseason outside of your deal? What are your thoughts on these crazy deals happening? Obviously, a lot of player movement and big contracts or short term. Just take us to the process of the offseason, seeing other players moving around.
I don't think any of them are crazy. I think we're seeing higher numbers because of inflation, because of the market can support it. And I think what we're seeing is shorter term contracts for higher dollars per year, which I think you're going to see a lot more of going forward, because no one wants to commit to these overbloated 12-year contracts anymore. The last 2 to 4 years of those contracts, a team is just eating salary for a player that's not an above average player anymore in most cases. So I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of these, 5 to 6 to 7 year.
So what advice would you give to younger athletes now in this generation and that are trying to get to their goals?
Just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. It happens quick. I've got to play for 15 years this summer, and it's crazy. Most people are not going to play at the top level. Most people are not going to make their careers out of sports. So enjoy it. Love your teammates. Have fun.
Another one of our fans want to know, during your off days or off time throughout your career, did you play MLB The Show, and did you ever look at your own ratings on that game?
I have not ever played MLB The Show, but sometimes people will pull my card and send me a screenshot or take a picture of the TV on their phone and send it to me on social media. And I think it's cool every single time. I noticed that one of the rankings had me at a 13 out of 100 speed, and I thought that was really generous of MLB.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I'm a real slow runner. That's okay.
Come on, man. The one thing about catchers, man, they actually, in my opinion, I think in baseball, the catchers are the most hardest position to play. Obviously, you guys work your ass off every day, and I think for you, like I said, you're having a great career so far, and in my opinion, you're an underrated catcher. In my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for you, I don't want to tell our fans about your Olympic experience. Obviously, 2020 in Tokyo, and you playing for Team Israel. So for you, what was that like experience in Tokyo playing with Team Israel?
Playing the Olympics was something I didn't think I'd ever get to do, because baseball hadn't been in the Olympics at all.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing opportunity. I'm so grateful to be Jewish and have the opportunity to play for Israel, because I don't know that I would have made the USA team. It was awesome. It's something that I always watch every 4 years. You know, we have it on the TV all day long, the Summer Olympics especially. So very, very cool experience.
Yeah. So the last two things here, our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. We're trying to help him prevent human trafficking, making sure the community stays safe, the kids stay safe. So we'll send you the foundation to you and your family so you can go check it out.
Cool.
Yeah. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and all the essential workers right now?
Just thank you for what you're doing. I think everyone in the world was feeling a little nervous and feeling a little scared the last couple of years, and it's a pretty amazing the modern medicine that we have that was able to get us out of that situation relatively quickly. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So well said, and there it is. That wraps up episode 997 with current Detroit Tigers catcher Ryan Lavarnway. Thank you for coming on the show. It's truly an honor to learn about your story and your career, and we would love to have you back on the show at some point down the line so you can meet the full team. But thank you to our fans for tuning in and asking questions also to Ryan. And man, like I said, thank you again. Keep up the great work. Good luck this season, wherever you are. And man, I hope you get the call up pretty soon and help the team make a big impact. But thank you again, man, and good luck the rest of the spring.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. That was awesome.